Knicks fans, I gotta hit you with this question right away. Why are the Knicks bringing in another guard when everyone knows we need a big man? The Knicks just brought in Dennis Smith Jr. for a workout, and most fans are scratching their heads. Shouldn't we be looking at a center like Thomas Bryant instead? Let's talk about it because this one's got the fan base split. So according to Stephen Bondy of the New York Post, Dennis Smith Jr. is working out with the Knicks this week, and for newer Knicks fans who might not remember, yes, that Dennis Smith Jr., the guy who came over in the Kristaps Porzingis trade back in 2019. At the time, he was seen as a potential cornerstone guard, explosive athlete, freaky dunks, and a guy who could attack the rim at will. But we all know how that turned out in New York. The jumper never developed, the confidence wavered, and eventually he bounced around a couple of teams before heading overseas. This past year, he was with Real Madrid, where he actually carved out a role as a defensive-minded guard. And to be fair, DSJ has worked hard to reinvent himself. He's become known as a really strong defender, a guy who can fight over screens, pressure the ball full court, and make life miserable for opposing guards. That is something that you can always use on any team, but the glaring issue is the same one it's always been: shooting. He is still not a reliable three-point threat, he is still not a consistent half-court playmaker. And honestly, Knicks fans are not buying it. The reaction online has been almost entirely negative. One fan said, quote, "DSJ has become a really good defender, but his three-point shot ain't there. We're good on guards, what we really need is a 4. Another fan said, quote, "DSJ's issues in the NBA have always been court vision and a consistent jumper. Unless he magically fixed that in Europe, what's the point?" And I think that speaks for a lot of us. It's not personal. Knicks fans respect that DSJ has battled to stay in the league. But right now, this roster does not need another guard project. We've got Brunson, Clarkson, McBride, Brogdon just signed, Landry Shamet is back, and even Garrison Matthews is fighting for a spot. The guard depth chart is already overcrowded, especially after the last few signings recently, so DSJ feels like a luxury move or honestly an unnecessary distraction when the front court is where the real hole is. Right now, the Knicks bigs are Karl Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson, Gershon Yabusele, and Ariel Hukporti. That might sound great and enough on paper, but the reality is that these guys, most of them are injury prone except for Yabusele. Cat has his knee issues as well as his fingers last season, Mitchell Robinson has been injured with his ankle multiple times, and Ariel Hukporti has his meniscus tear last season. Plus, Hukporti is only a second-year player, so he doesn't really have that much experience. Yabusele is the real good addition, but I think he's still not enough. Like, what happens if Mitch misses some significant time, which he usually does, unfortunately? He's played only over 70 games just once in his entire career. What happens if Cat gets rattled up or has foul trouble? You're suddenly relying on small ball lineups or playing Hukporti way earlier than expected. This team is built to contend. They can't afford to be one sprained ankle away from being undersized against teams like Milwaukee, Cleveland, or even Orlando or Atlanta. And that's why many fans, including myself, continue to advocate for a center like Thomas Bryant. Let's talk about Bryant. 28 years old, legit NBA size at 6'10", 250 pounds, and he's got championship experience from his time with the Nuggets. Last season, he played for the Pacers, and remember, he gave the Knicks real problems in that playoff series. Ian Begley reported that the Knicks were impressed by him during those games, and he's been on their radar ever since. He can bang down low, he's physical, he can set solid screens, and he's even shown flashes of floor spacing with a respectable jumper. You're not asking him to be a star, but as a reserve big man who can eat minutes here and there and protect the paint, that's exactly what the Knicks are missing. And here's the kicker: Bryant wants an NBA home. He's available right now, and you can likely get him on a team-friendly deal. Compare that to DSJ, where the upside is maybe he cracks the guard rotation. It's night and day. Bryant fills a real need. Now, this is the complicated part, and that is roster spots. With Malcolm Brogdon now officially in the mix, plus Shamet and Matthews fighting for spots, the Knicks already have a crunch. Ian Begley explained it well. If they want to keep both Brogdon and Shamet, they will need to move someone like Pacome Dadier, Tyler Kolek most likely, or even Deuce McBride, which I think is not likely. And let me pause here to make something crystal clear. Trading McBride would be a mistake in this scenario. I personally do not want it, and I would say 99% of Knicks fans do not want it either. Deuce is one of those glue guys. He defends, he hustles, and he fits this city. Trading him just to squeeze in someone like Shamet, like a veteran like that, would be insanity in my opinion. Protected pick or not, it's not worth it, but the point is New York can only keep so many veterans, and if they're going to use that spot, it should be on someone who fills a clear hole in the roster. Brogdon makes sense, he's proven, he's big, and he's versatile. Shamet makes sense as a shooter, Bryant makes sense as a backup big, but DSJ, that's where I'm lost. So here's my bottom line, I get it, DSJ is a familiar face. Maybe Leon Rose just wants to see what he's got left, no harm in a workout, but if this team is serious about competing for a championship, the priority has to be frontcourt depth. Thomas Bryant or even someone like Trey Jemison from the Lakers, who's also been linked to the Knicks, would give this team balance. It's not about stacking names, it's about filling holes. And right now, the hole is at the backup center, not at guard, so Knicks fans are not crazy for being frustrated. This is a team on the verge of real contention. Every move matters, and bringing in the right big could be the difference between a second round exit and a finals run. But what do you guys think, Knicks fans? Are you open to giving DSJ another shot in New York, or are you all in on signing someone like Thomas Bryant and finally shoring up this big man depth? Drop your takes in the comments below, I will be checking them out. And then just a quick reminder, channel memberships are now live with exclusive perks, early polls, behind the scenes updates, and even shoutouts right here on the channel. So definitely go check that out if you want to be a part of this KNYT community in a bigger way. And it would really support the channel and help me make these videos for you guys in the future. But as always, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and sub to the channel for more Knicks news and updates you will not want to miss. It's been KNYT here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.